Okie dokie. It is now 1 o'clock on the West Coast, 4 o'clock on the East Coast, and we're going to go ahead and get started. Welcome, everyone. It's me, and I wanted to just go ahead and go through some things here. You can see the screen there, and I'm going to put in fredgleeck.com just to get to that. And we will also throw in another tab for Fred and Bob Bly, and that is here. And we'll put in another tab for VoiceOver Revolution. And we've got all of those. So we've got.
Are you working as a voiceover
There we
talent?
go. And so we got all those going here. And so we will talk about those as they become important and relevant throughout this webinar. First thing is, we do not currently have any of the JV partners online here. So what I'm going to do is to talk a little bit about some things that happened and things that are going to be happening. First off, let's talk a little bit about the Fred and Bob Bly event, which was very well received. And I think that everybody will be, who is listening to this call, will be excited when they go to http www.fredandbobbly.com, that is, it will eventually have the recordings, audio, video of the live event, which was excellent. So I would encourage you to check that out. And what did we learn from that? One of the things I did at this event that you may want to start doing yourselves is people take notes. Okay, so when people take notes, let them know in the beginning of the event that whomever has the, quote, best notes will be given a prize in exchange for letting you or me use their notes in a product you create. This is a kind of a cool idea. I would encourage you to do that. Okay, so do that with all your events. Tell people the first day that, hey, if you're a good note taker, we encourage you to do so, and here's what we're going to do, et cetera, because that's a really cool way to get an additional. It creates like an additional bonus for people, and so what happens is you get somebody who takes good notes. You include that along with your other materials for the event, and it just adds value. So I would encourage you to do that for everybody. And that's a good thing to do. Now, coming up, a couple of other things. Let me see some other things we learned from this event. Number one, Bob was in bad shape. He was not. He shouldn't have even been there. He was feeling really crappy the first day. A little bit better the second day. And sometimes, you just have to. You have to get through an event, even if you're feeling crappy, which he did like a trooper. And it's something that we can all learn from. That the show must go on, kind of thing. And he did a great job of doing that. So I would encourage you all to understand that doing seminars isn't always easy, especially when you're sick, and you may want to keep that in mind. Now, the VoiceOver Revolution event, which is coming up in a couple of weeks here with Bill DeWeese, actually 10 days from now. Here it is, 2 days, and it's specific to the voiceover business as the other one was to the information marketing business. And right now, we currently have, I think, around 30 people registered, and we're hoping to get more. Yes. So that's where we stand with that. So in other areas, what I'm doing is, again, another thing is that Dave Hamilton, who is the web marketing, I always like to capitalize it, magician. Dave will be doing a series of webinars, and if you're interested, I would contact him, Dave, at webmarketingmagician.com. So contact Dave on the series of webinars he's doing related to sites and membership sites and all this thing, good stuff that he's got. So I would encourage you to do that. Now, other than that, let's see here. So we have some things there that we want to do. And again, remember that I see a couple of people starting to come on late here. If you do miss anything, these webinars are usually up within 24 hours on the fredgleeck.com site and then the /webinars. So if you go here and you click on webinars, you'll see last week's, which is from, oh no, the other one isn't up yet. Huh, that's interesting. That hasn't been, oh wait, today is the, oh that was the last one, yeah. That was exactly a week ago. So today's is February 5th, and that should be up within the next 24 hours or so. So I'd encourage you to take a look, if you come on late to those take a look at the webinars, portion of the webinar that you missed. Let's see here. What else? So we're talking about a little bit about what happened at the fredandboblie.com event. Again, that will be, there was some discussion with Bob via email that I had about what price point to put this at. And we were coming up with, he was saying, you know, should we do it at the price, which was the early bird special, which was $200. And I said, well, maybe let's do it at, you know, blow it out at 97, then go up to 147, then eventually have it at 197. So the price points that we were thinking of is starting for maybe a week at 97, then going to 147, then going to 197. And this would be for access to, you know, to the videos. And that would be how we do it. We're going to access the videos at those price points. And again, this is a Dave Hamilton function. He'll be putting those up. Now, that's really, now since we don't have any of the other joint venture partners on the webinar, I'm going to talk about a few more things, but then we may end up, you know, finishing early here because I'm not, again, these are geared to my JV partners who are sometimes busy, and one of them is Avish, and Avish and I have started to concentrate more on Be Funny as a speaker as opposed to a more generic speaking kind of site. So that's what's happening there, and of course Dave Hamilton and I do a series of things, and we have decided Dave and I will be doing a lot more products via this webinar system. And again, this is a really good way to record products, is you just use, what we're using here is I use, you know, GoToWebinar. And for those of you who need access to GoToWebinar, I do have plenty of time to sell or to rent to my access. That must be spelled wrong. How is that? Let's see. Yeah, I guess it's access. Looks weird. So anyway, the nice thing is GoToWebinar allows you to do that, and we do a combination of this one with ScreenFlow. That's what I use for the Mac to record the events or the webinars. And it's a great way and an easy way to put a product together. So if you're having problems putting products together, good way to do it. So I'd encourage you to do that and to give that a shot. There are lots of other ways to do products, as you know, audios, videos, etc. But one of the nice ones is when you do a webinar, you can also either have them paid or free and get people to contribute. So there you have it. I'm going to be spending a bunch of my time between now and a couple weeks from now concentrating on Bill's VoiceOver Revolution event, which we're doing in Vegas coming up in about 10 days. So that starts the 15th. It's Saturday and Sunday. And anybody, by the way, who is on my list, I'm going to invite them to come, you know, at a reduced fee if they're in the area. So be happy to have you. So there you have it. Enough things there. And since there's no one else, and I apologize to everybody else who's on here, but since there are no JV partners, I think what we'll do is we'll leave it there for today, just because this is intended for them and for their benefit. And that's really all I have to say. So rather than taking up any more time, I'll call it a day. Sorry if you are only getting a little bit of information, but all of this information, go back if you didn't hear it from the beginning. Some of you came on a little bit late.